Remember these radial seats? It's time to figure out something better. It's finally time to get a plan for the seats together. I took a spin the other day and hammered it and flew back. It was quite a shock. Anyway, this is what I'm thinking for the seats. Gives plenty of space for both seats and hopefully for the center console so I can mount the shifter and everything. Just need to make sure that it's compatible with any future LEAF battery packs. Just picked up some steel. 9 feet, fits just fine in the Model S. Here's the rough measurements. The X's are the bolt holes. Here's kind of the design that I'm thinking of. Having a crossbar of 1x2 14 gauge for the front and rear mounts. And these guys mounted as forward as possible. Just welding in some nuts down low, down in here. And then what's cool about this is that it'll make the frame a little more rigid as well. Not that it needs any help, but hey, why not? It'll weld to the frame on the fastback here. On the passenger side, it'll also potentially protect the low voltage wiring in the black, and also the low voltage wiring in the yellow. This is the charging port cable, the J1772. If there was an accident, it might, I don't know, might prevent, these crossbars might prevent any intrusion, but who knows. Just another layer of protection, but also because I can put something over all of this, which is really kind of nice. Just pulled the bolts from this 2014 LEAF, which they're all going to be the same. Anyway, it looks like it's just a nut, captive nut, and an earplug. I don't think I'll be using that, but here are the stock bolts, so I'm just going to use these. Here we go. I just want to tack one side into place. So one tack here and then the same on the other side. Then mount the seat, mark the spots for the front holes. Once those are marked, then I can work on the rear. But for now, we tack. Driver's seat is clamped in roughly where I think it's going to go. I'm going to install the center console and then the other seat. Yeah, this is good. This is real good. Shifter right here. Nice little compartment. Here's the passenger seat, and you can see there's a little locating dowel, which I'm gonna lop that off, as well as its little like standoff. There we go. That's about what I'm after. The other seat is clamped in, and I am stoked with how it's turning out. This is gonna be sweet. So now I'm not sure what I'm gonna do next. Mark the holes and drill them. So we have the hole mostly there, and I've kind of ground down the nut slightly and taken off the coating for good welding. And it is almost there, but I want it to be super tight, so I'm gonna press it in just with a clamp, probably a bigger one than this, but kind of want to press it in. Got those two in. Now I'm gonna weld and use this one as the test run. Woohoo! Just going to hit the tops with the grinder to kind of even it out. There we go. All right, sort of have a seat in. Obviously the brackets just tack welded in. Do that number. Still need to figure out this lock right here, because when you go forward, you can see it kind of, when it's all the way forward, it keeps it up. So I'll have to figure that out. Mounting the rear will be next. Kind of follow the same pattern. Got the rear bracket tacked in place. Now I'm gonna mark the bolt holes and remove the seats. It'll be a lot easier. There we go. Everything's welded in and ready for seats. Finally have seats. This has been a long time coming. Seats actually slide up, lock in. I guess now should probably get some of this stuff tucked away. Still have to mount the shifter. Lots to do still. Gotta mount all this stuff. There's a lot. But I can potentially drive it now, although this stuff would be dangling, and yeah, that wouldn't be ideal. But I'm now seated and can get some seat belts in. This isn't attractive, is it? And I'm gonna pull this and have my buddy Rudy do his upholstery magic. Gotta take this airbag out and right in there are a couple studs with 10mm hardware. So I'm gonna pull that out and see if we can lighten it up a little. There we go. There are the rear seats, the black ones. Those are rear from a 2011, I think. And I need to put them in here and figure out how to bolt them in. Here we go, the rear bottom cushion, and there's these clips that kind of just sit in the LEAF little slot. So I need to figure out how to replicate that in some way. The rear seat sitting in here, you can see, doesn't leave much leg room, so I'm gonna have to cut the back portion off and re-sew it. See how that goes. I think I'm gonna attempt that myself. I'm gonna use that as a height measurement though to get the brackets mounted for the rear, which is this guy, which has that guy, and that guy, not to mention the folding portion. Look at how great this is lining up. So you can see the side brackets, they're just it's the same on the other side, but they're just gonna go into the wheel well backed up with a plate. And I'll build a bracket that will come off of this frame bulkhead and allow that attachment point. And like I said, same on the other side. But this is a pretty good height. I mean, it's slightly higher than the front seat, tipped back a little bit. Looks pretty good to me. I might lower it slightly. No, this is just because I have a 2x4. I'm going to use this 1x2, but as you can see, it has a bit of a spot right there. I want to try and snug this bracket as close to this as possible, maybe even cut slightly. That way I can snug the back of the seat closest to the edge there. So, got this cool tool. We'll see how it works. Let me try this angle. There we go. Yeah. All right. First time trying it. Alright, here's the idea. It's gonna sit somewhere in this region. There it is, tacked into place. That bracket is in, and now I'm gonna use that to locate the perches on the sides here. Got the holes drilled. Now I'm gonna make the backing plates that'll go into the wheel well, and I found some scrap that I'm gonna be using, and it's almost like perfect. Just have to get that side going too. All right, that looks pretty good. Sticks up just over the window line, a few inches, but gives a nice little spot for the parcel tray stuff. Now for the hard part, getting the clasps, the locking clasps in. Well, the seat clasps are gonna have to wait. I thought these were them. I forget where these come from. So these are not long enough, so I have to go to the donor LEAF and see what brackets they're using. There's this one. I think this might be long enough, but I can't remember. The lower mount, I think I'm gonna have to eliminate the entire rear bolster portion of it so that it can scooch back a bit more. It's really only this rear portion that I think I need to shorten up, so I'm gonna give that a shot. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. So I pulled these clips out from here and pulled back the material, and you can faintly see the seat heater circuit right in through here, so I gotta be real careful right in there. I'm just gonna start slow and cut little chunks out versus you know, cutting a big old hunk and regretting it. It has these little metal spines, basically little framework, so I have to grind through those. And out it comes. Yeah, that's a lot better. I love using EMT conduit for stuff. It's cheap, pretty lightweight, and strong. I'm gonna see if I can make some sort of rear seat support out of this. There we go. And we're tacked. So now I'm gonna remove everything, give it a proper weld. Got the capacitor assembly mounted, and I decided I'm gonna wait on paint until I'm totally done welding everything. All the brackets for all the miscellaneous stuff. Here's how everything turned out. Pretty nice. The seat from Rudy. He just kind of patched that guy back up. Obviously, they still need to be cleaned, but you know, my kids have sat back here. They're pretty scrunched up when we don't have the seats all the way forward, but yeah, working out pretty nicely. There we have it, seats. Next up, we'll be mounting all these relay boxes and doing general cleanup of the wiring. So stay tuned, and thanks for watching.